you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck. You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
This is my daughter, placenta. Boop. I'm sorry. Welcome back to this Manic Monday edition of Snowman in the Morning with the droid and the dog. Snowman here. Time to break down some conference championship play. We're going to start in the NFC, and it's going to be a short breakdown because the Philadelphia Eagles stomped a mud hole in their ass and walked it dry.
Yeah, they did.
That's a short breakdown. We'll come back to that. We'll put a pin in that and pause that for a moment. But now we are going to have some fun.
Yes,
there's a hot seat to be had.
I'm gonna give some spin.
Now, forgive me not knowing the brother. You got your mic black. I don't know who the hell you are. It's like you're in the broadcasted witness protection program.
Here he is, folks, the Playmaker.
Agent Zero.
Playmaker.
I
Solid.
was just gonna say, I got
What?
Big Dog calling me Agent Zero now.
Well, yeah. It's good. It is great to
Morning.
have you back on the show, man. We miss you.
Wait a minute, sir. We have the same mic. Hold on,
Shut up.
hold on, sir.
Oh, dear God. Here we go.
That ain't the same mic.
It's the same mic.
It's the same mic.
It's the
Okay.
same
It's the same mic.
It's the same mic.
It's the same mic.
It's the same mic.
It's the same mic. All right, Playmaker. You said you had someone.
Just a
You
minute.
said-
Let's to the Fanatics feedback zone. We go very, very quickly. Y'all know who that is. Y'all know who this is because he's up here now. And that's a signal that I need to change something really quick, and I'm going to be able to do that. This fellow from Norway, Sig Diggy, greets us as well. We got all the party people up in here, and Agent Zero made a request of us.
I got
His
the
original
bank ready.
sentence was, quote, "I wish I could put somebody on the hot seat. Your wish is granted."
Hank, crank it up.
Now I'm going to get out of the way and say, Playmaker, cook their ass.
First, let me start off by saying that everybody who wanted to comment on my post and wanted to bring up the refs, do me a favor. Shut up.
Hey, sir.
Shut up.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I do not want to hear about the refs did this. That was supposed to have been a first down on 4th and 1. Shut
Right.
up.
Right. Say it again. For those of us in the
Shut up.
cheap seats at Old Candlestick Park, say it
Now,
again.
if you really want to break down the game from last night, Joe freaking Brady.
Yes, sir. This is on you.
What in the blue hell was you doing on that final drive calling plays?
You mean the question of
What in the all types of blue hell?
No, I'm going final boss route.
Ooh, do
He
it.
going rock route.
I'm going final boss route because that jabroni over there and Joe Brady forgot he had a running back by the last name of Cook.
Who
had
was
13
cooking
carries for 85 yards, which is 6.5 yards a carry, if my math is correct, with 2
Yep.
touchdowns.
It is.
Can
Yep.
you guess how many times he touched the ball on the final drive?
None. N-U-N-N. None.
0.
Like I said, N-U-N-N. None.
None.
We can all hate the fact that Patrick Mahomes is keep going to the Super Bowl, but guess what? You have stupid coaches on the other side that make it happen for him.
You know what I always say, Playmaker, and Playmaker, you've said this a few times on your program. It goes like this. To be the champs, you must unseat the champs.
1 year is 13 seconds where a defense can't make not one stop. In
Not
13
one.
seconds.
Dude, experiencing that as a Chiefs fan was sensational.
All right. Okay, defense sucked. Josh Allen didn't get the ball back. It is what it is. Chiefs goes to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
It is what it is.
Yep.
Oh, Patrick Mahomes don't have home field advantage no more. He has to go on the road to win games. Well, he went to Buffalo and beat
Won a
Josh
game.
Allen there.
He beat Josh Allen at Rich Stadium.
Oh, and then he went to Baltimore and beat Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Want no risk calls on that one? That
None.
gave to the Super Bowl.
I did that game. None. They were
John Harbaugh and Tom Munker. They forgot how they got there was running the football.
Yep.
Let me say a quote I said last year. I wasn't on the show last year for this, but I said this to one of my buds on the old Grilled Sportscast. I said, "Yeah, the refs totally made that kick go wide right."
And speaking of which,
I said the refs totally made that kick go wide right.
Run the football. We get to last night. A running back is literally averaging more than half a first down a carry. And you don't put him in the game when the game is on the line?
Don't
give him the ball when the game is on the line?
Don't.
We ain't talking 4.5, 3.5. This is 6.5 yards a touch. What are we doing? 3 minutes, 33 seconds. Everybody wanted that moment. Here we go. 3 minutes, 30. You had 3 timeouts plus a 2-minute. You basically had 4 timeouts.
4 timeouts. And 2 more if you count Kansas City timeouts. They basically had 6 timeouts at their disposal because if they ran that series the right way, you make Kansas City use all their timeouts.
I'm not on a hot seat right now.
Sorry.
Your first play of the game, James Cook's not even in. You get a ball to Ty Jones, he loses a yard. Your second play, Josh Allen scrambles for a first down. Then your next 3 plays were all passing plays.
Yep.
See, what we need to get past as fans of the sport, get past the whole refs thing. Get past that because it's been clear that the opposing coaches forget the most fundamental thing in these type of games when it's clear and evident that you can do it to the Kansas City Chiefs. Run the football.
Run the ball.
If Lamar and Tom Munker run the football last year, we not maybe seeing the Chiefs going on 3-peat right now.
Mm-hmm.
If the Buffalo Bills remember about James Cook, we not having this discussion right now.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was put in place for Josh Allen to succeed this time. You got the ball. It is your offense. You can do what you did last game, the last time you faced the Kansas City Chiefs, and you made sure that you put the game away. You didn't do that. You wanted to get pass happy. And what happened when you got pass happy? You gave the ball back to Patrick Mahomes, and Patrick Mahomes said, well, they gave me the ball back. Josh Allen, you will not see this ball again. I'll be going to New Orleans, and you going back up to Buffalo.
In an empty and cold Rich Stadium.
Now, those of you who, if you want to put Sean McDermott on the hot seat, I would not push back because you know what? You is the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
You could have called time and say, hey, what are we doing? Why is number 4 not in the game? Like, what?
What are you doing?
The stupidity of the opposing teams against Kansas City is irking my nerves to the brink.
Same.
I can't take it no more.
Same.
Facts.
You can say the refs, no, it's the stupidity of the opposing coaches.
Yep.
Do what got you there.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason everyone blames the refs because it's the easiest scapegoat out there. They don't want to look in the mirror.
Say that again, please.
What got Buffalo here? A total team effort.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen did not need to be Superman. He didn't need to be Superman last night either.
And yet he tried to be Superman.
And what was the end result?
Kryptonite.
A big, fat, stanky. Where'd it go? You're looking for that. I'm looking for a craptacular
Yeah.
And I do bring up a counter argument. There was definitely a lot of missed calls, but people need to remember this. To the day you die, refs are not perfect.
You ought to remember this to the day you die also. To be the
Here's
champs,
my
you
thing
have
with
to
the
win.
refs, and Snowman and Bit Dog can attest to this because I've been like this. The only times I get on the refs when it actually costs us the game.
When it actually costs the game.
Yeah. And like I
we can
said
go back
earlier,
when we can go all the way back to when my LA Rams beat the Saints in the Superdome when they blatantly did not call pass
interference.
Yeah.
And what did I say? Well, I mean, Drew Brees did win the coin toss.
But then my counterpoint was the Saints left 20 points on the table throughout the course of regulation.
They did. And I remember I said, well, Drew Brees and New Orleans, they did win the coin toss in overtime.
Yep. And didn't take advantage of it.
They turned the ball over.
Yep.
And like I said earlier, everyone wants to blame the refs because it's the easiest scapegoat. They don't want to look in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you think I was blaming the refs for what happened to the Rams against the Eagles? No.
I know this.
We had opportunities. We fumbled the football. You take one of the fumbles away, that's a win. And we talking about the Rams going to New Orleans instead of Philly.
Yeah, I do want to say, like, the Rams were definitely playing their hearts out in that Eagles game. It was obvious. It felt like I finally saw a team starting to diminish Saquon.
But by that time, the game was put away. By that time, the game was put in the back. By that time, the game was put in the back pocket, and they're walking off.
Oh no! So you thought until Nick Sirianni did what Nick Sirianni always does and gave the Rams another chance, and then went for Jalen Carter.
Mm-hmm.
The Rams would have won the game because guess who? Because if you actually go back and look at that sack, Snowman, look at it real closely, you'll see that Tyler Higbee got open on the post route.
Yep, I saw it. I saw that play. He was wide open.
Gave the ball back.
So this is my thing, and I hope Nick Sirianni does what he's supposed to do. You beat the Chiefs by controlling the game.
By controlling the football.
You run the football. Why does when we get to these points and back-to-back LC championship games, the team that is capable of beating the Chiefs forget to run the football, which is how they got there in the first place?
Because they got scared.
Baltimore last year, Buffalo last night. How y'all forget your most fundamental part of your whole team
is running the football?
The fundamental part of your whole team is running the football.
Most of the NFL forgot that this year.
Mm-hmm.
And you just blatantly.
Also, in the AFC Championship last year, I think the Ravens do put a lot of blame on Zay Flowers for taking a stupid penalty. That left a lot of points on the table.
But
that wasn't the case this year.
No, it's like I said, James Cook, 6. When do you average 6.5 yards a carry and you don't get the ball more than 13 times?
And you don't see the ball on their final drive of the game.
That's a golden goal to say, hey, you know what? We can run. Let's just keep going until they stop it.
Right up the middle. They got gashed up the middle all night.
Yeah, there's no sense to run east-west, but you can just murder them north-south.
That's why I'm putting it on Joe Brady. Because his stupidity cost Buffalo another championship game. Now Bills Mafia. Oh my God. Now they got to deal with the fact that they lost 4 Super Bowls in a row. Now they got to deal with the fact that they lost to Patrick Mahomes 4 times in the playoffs.
Well, so many people are going through tables right now.
Oh, it ain't even like, okay, Kansas City, they just outplayed them, and what nothing Buffalo can do. It wasn't that. It was like, oh, y'all got this. Get the ball to James Cook. Run that clock down and touch the ball. Might not see it again.
That's all you do.
No, we wanna throw the ball.
Why?
We want to act like we in a 2-minute drill with less than 90 seconds left. No, you had 30 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning.
Say that again. 3 timeouts plus what?
Plus the 2-minute warning.
4 timeouts, essentially.
And you want to throw the football.
And stop the clock.
Y'all want to know the real reason why the Chiefs dynasty the way it is? It was because the opposing coaches do stupid stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
They forget what got them there. And it's evident again last night.
Very much
Yep.
so.
Now I see why Joe Brady didn't want to be a head coach because, boy, that performance there would have had any team that was interviewing you scratching their head because they'd have been like, what was he just doing in that last drive?
Yeah, what in the blue hell was that?
There's a bunch of bull.
So, Joe Brady, you stay your butt in Buffalo, and you better make it up to Bills Market because you owe them one.
Mm-hmm.
What they wanted was right in their hands, and you took it from them.
He owes them like 4.
Agreed.
And you just took it from them. You made Steve's Vallota job very easy. That's why Buffalo's going home. Because of stupidity in the coaching ranks. Take me off this hot seat.
I had it. It's not.
I had Frank in a headlock.
I was trying to figure it out because I had everything else ready to go, man. What the hell?
Matter of fact, Big Dog.
What?
Can it be saying I'm being serious, despite the Spygate, the flick, and all that, can the same thing be said during the Patriots run? The opposing coaches, they stopped doing what they need to do.
They did stupid stuff.
They really did, and that was because they were that worried about the fact of Brady getting the ball. They tried to push.
They were that
they screwed up.
Yep, they were that worried. Look, in the Patriots dynasty, they were that worried about Brady. In the Cowboys dynasty, they were that worried about the triplets. And in the 49er dynasty, they were that worried about Montana and later Young.
Mm-hmm.
They got so worried. And now in the midst of the Chiefs dynasty, they're proving it. They were so worried that they went away from what they love to do.
Exactly. They went away from their game plan.
I'll give you a prime example. From 1989, NFC Championship, Candlestick Park, San Francisco. You know Jim Everett and the Rams wanted to throw the football.
Yep.
You know they wanted to throw the football all over the place. They had a chance to make a statement early in the game when Jim Everett on 3rd and 11 launched a pass, and here's a name from the past that a lot of people should remember. Willie Flipper Anderson.
Yes, sir.
Was
man who has the most yardage in the game.
Was wide open. And Ronnie Lott scared the bejesus out of him.
Yep.
And made Anderson drop the ball. They settled for 3 and never scored again.
This is what happens when you get away from the game plan you set out for.
They settled for 3 and never threatened again in that game.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Joe, you're a Chiefs fan. How many games you seen and you know if the opposing team do what they've been doing, we actually might lose this game?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, literally,
and then all of a sudden it's like they not doing it.
Yeah,
that was basically the entirety of the season.
Pretty much.
Of the season.
No lie there.
if Isaiah Likely just had a smaller shoe size, we would have lost that first game of the season.
Right, because Likely's foot came down out. Because Likely's foot came down out of bounds.
Not even his entire foot. Just a big toe.
Let me ask Joy the question: if Isaiah Likely makes that catch and stays in bounds, are we having a different Chiefs season than what we had?
I don't know. It would definitely be a statement to Spagnuolo to change his defensive play style because you look at how that game ended up. That was mainly because there was a lot of mistakes from the Chiefs defense. And of course the offense had mistakes too, but a lot of mistakes came from the defense. But I look at Spags and I look at Reed and I say, get your SHIT together, please.
Please.
And maybe we don't block that kick against the Broncos. Maybe we don't we don't win the coin toss against Tampa. Maybe Kamara doesn't get hurt against us. There's a lot of what ifs from this season that if the other team just played their game, they probably could have won. We could have lost to the Panthers, the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
Because Chuba Hubbard was having a game of his life.
And
we almost lost to him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I point to so many different things from this year, and then last year. You got to realize if Shanahan knew the rules, then we probably would have lost the Super Bowl. We would not be talking about no 3P. We would just be wondering if the Chiefs would be getting their third ring in the last 5 years.
He's making my point. Coaches, it's costing their teams games against the Chiefs.
Do stupid.
And then you go back to the Ravens game. If Harbaugh just ran the ball, you probably would have been fine. Like we would have been in that Super Bowl if Harbaugh just ran the ball. It would have been Ravens 49ers. I guarantee you the 49ers would have won. And we would not be talking about, oh, Purdy just all this and all that. We wouldn't be talking about that.
And I still say leave Brock Purdy alone.
But you also got to look back to, I'm going all the way back. I'm going to the 2019 Super Bowl against the 49ers. If Jimmy G,
if they keep running Raheem, I'll finish your sentence for you. If they keep running Raheem Mostert, who was starting to gain yards in chunks, A, he damn near sets a rushing record for the Super Bowl, and B, we're not having this conversation about the Chiefs dynasty because the 49ers would have waxed their ass up 20-10 with 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. One more score puts it out of reach.
And you got to be honest, you also got to put down defensive coordinator. You got to put a lot of down defensive coordinator. You should not be giving up that many points in that short span of time. I'm sorry.
You should not be giving up that many.
I love you, Brian.
Also, you should.
I love you, Brian.
For you.
You can't put it on Mostert. You can't put it on Jimmy G. You couldn't put it on Shanahan. You had to put it on the defensive coordinator because he's the one calling the shots on defense, and he was the one that screwed them over.
Oh, I'll put it on Shanahan because Shanahan is a repeating thing. Shanahan has a problem with holding double-digit leads in most important games.
Yeah, he's done it twice in the Super Bowl.
The entirety, that 2019 run was so weird because the entirety of that 2019 run, we were down in all those games. Every single game, we were down by double-digit points. And we came back in all those games. We ran out of fireworks against the Texans, if that even makes a statement.
And I remember y'all ran out of touchdown fireworks because no one expected the Chiefs to come back from 24 down in 10 minutes.
And then we also had the Titans game. If the Titans just kept running Derrick Henry, they would have been fine. They would have been golden.
Absolutely.
You wouldn't be talking about the AFC Championship being between I believe it was Bills that year too. Bills and you would be talking about Bills, Chiefs. No, you'd be talking about Bills, Titans, and the Bills probably would have went to the Super Bowl.
A repeat of 2019.
I guarantee you, Bills Titans. That would have been a great AFC Championship. But then we got an even more historic one because that started a rivalry unborn, just like how the Panthers Bruins rivalry just started. It starts with a playoff game. Rivalries always start with playoff appearances, and this is 4 consecutive games between Bills Chiefs where the Bills lost. And I look back at every one of those games too, Playmaker. I look at those games too. If they just kept doing their thing, if Allen was able to keep scrambling, I guarantee you, I wouldn't have that poster behind me. I wouldn't have 3 rings in my lifetime. Right. I would still have my 1 Royals ring and my 1 Kansas National Championship ring, and that's it. I would still have only 2.
This is what I want people to understand. You just noticed we just went through and we just told you different games where the opposing coaches
and coordinators within
didn't do their job.
Right.
And another thing is people go back and try and make up BS with calls. Like you even admitted that was pass interference in that Rams Saints game. Like that was blatant, and it wasn't called. So what? It's the game's over. It's happened. It's in the past. People are still complaining about it. I don't care.
Let me go back to that. Let me go back to that Saints Rams NFC Championship game, and I'll say a point that I said earlier in the show, and I will continue to say as we make comparisons to the AFC Championship last night. The New Orleans Saints left 20 points on the table at the very least throughout the points of the game. You pick up those 20 points, this part of the conversation is not even had.
True.
If Dante Fowler doesn't do a stunt,
you pick up those 20 points, and this conversation is not even had.
If Dante Fowler doesn't do a stunt around and gets to Drew Brees, forcing him to throw a pick,
right?
The Rams are not in the Super Bowl
because
everybody knew. Oh, Drew Brees won the coin toss and is in the Superdome. Well, we had our chances, but here comes Drew Brees and them. They can make up for the missed call. Here we go. It is what it is. No, Dante Fowler does the stunt. John Johnson gets the pick. Jared Goff leads them down the field to win the game.
And I also go back to those Patriots games too. There were definitely many points where you wouldn't even be talking about no dynasty, if the opposing team just did their job.
You're not
one
wrong.
of those things includes the Seahawks. If they had just gave it to Lynch in that final drive down the field, if they just gave it to Marshawn, that would not be it. That would be not a Patriots Super Bowl.
Yeah, if Russell Wilson didn't try to be a flipping hero and just did what they were doing and that's carve us up on the interior,
I mean,
it's a whole different ball game.
It's first and goal from the 5-yard line, and Marshawn Lynch gains 4 of them. Why the hell wouldn't you give him the ball to finish the drive and finish the game?
We all remember beast mode. You know,
how did Mike Francesa put it? Line up, block it, power, touchdown. He goes in backwards.
And we all remember beast mode, how strong of a player he is.
Yes.
You know, that's the entire point of running it with Lynch, is because he's getting in no matter what they do. He's going to just plow through them. He's going to give at least one defender a stiff arm before he gets in too.
Right.
We can look at the Pittsburgh Steelers doing the Patriots dynasty. Like, hello.
Oh yeah.
Are you going to change your defense up? Because your defense that you play, Tom Brady kills you every time. No, we're not going to change it up, man. You continue to get killed.
And I also, if you go back to that Atlanta Falcons game, the Falcons-Patriots game, we would be talking about Matt Ryan having one of the greatest Super Bowl performances of all time. If the Falcons didn't keep passing, I guarantee you, we would be talking about that Matt Ryan championship for years to come.
Easily. But yet again, Matt Ryan tried to do what Matt Ryan does, and that's go deep, and it ended up costing him.
That wasn't
who's the offensive coordinator for that game?
Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan.
Kyle Shanahan.
I said, Kyle Shanahan has a history of having double-digit leads in important games and not finishing the deal.
And not finishing the job.
Now everybody clowns on these two sets of numbers, 28-3. To this day.
Yes, we do.
And you know why? In all these scenarios that we talked about, one thing didn't happen. The team who had the opportunity chose not to run the football.
That's a playmaker, Darnell Sollins, making an emergency appearance and putting the hot seat on. We got plenty of heat left, but thanks, playmaker, so much for coming on. We appreciate you, man.
No problem.
Thank you. Come back soon, will you please? We miss you.
I do what I can.
Now, forgive me not knowing the brother. You got your mic, but I don't know who the hell you are. It's like you're in the broadcasting witness protection program.